The rule for thee, but not for me, question mark. I am back with two great political minds. Trump's senior advisor, Corey Lewandowski, legendary Democratic strategist, James Carville. Good to see you both. Corey, lawfare is bad. We want less of it. Stop prosecuting your opponents until you get in power and can do the same. Is that what we're going to see here in the next Trump administration? Him chasing after everybody who went after him?
No, Chris, we're not going to see that. What we're going to see is a blindfold back on Lady Justice where it should have been the whole time. And what we've seen from this administration is going after people because of their political beliefs. We saw that whether it was the Russia hoax narrative that we saw or under this administration, Alvin Bragg's and the Department of Justice going after Donald Trump. Never in the history of our country has a former president's home been raided and had the FBI come in and go through the candidate's personal effects and the missus' personal effects. This could have been done very differently. And now that justice is going to be restored, we're going to have Pam Bondi as the attorney general, who's going to prosecute people based on the criteria that they committed a crime, not their political beliefs.
All right. So then, James, do you think you will be surprised if they go after the January 6th investigators?
No, not at all. And by the way, Donald Trump has, I don't know how many millions of dollars of judgments against him right now being successfully sued before, in addition to having 34 felony counts hanging over his head. So, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I remember a time, Chris, maybe you can remember this, when Republicans used to be against frivolous lawsuits. Now they embrace them. So, you know, we're just going to go through this, and we'll see where it goes.
But, you know, Corey, here's the suspicious part. I'm all fine with what you said. I think Pam Bondi is a ginormous step up from the original pick. But you're going after the Des Moines Register for a poll that you didn't like, where Seltzer got it wrong, okay? You went after ABC and they settled, which I was shocked by. And, you know, you're going after media people who put out stories you don't like. Is that really the best use of the new administration's time?
Well, listen, Chris, we're not in the administration yet, but I will tell you this. You know, the fact that ABC News settled, not only did they settle, they didn't settle with a non-disparaging clause in there. They had to make it a public apology for what they said.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
What they said was completely wrong. It was completely inappropriate. And they sued and they lost $15 million to the Trump Foundation, I guess the presidential foundation for this. So, look, you have to hold people accountable because that's what the media has done to Donald Trump for many years. Chris, you've done it. And it's fine to hold public figures accountable when they're wrong and they say something wrong. But the converse of that is also true. When the media grossly misrepresents the truth, they should be held accountable. And that's what happened in this case of ABC News.
James, what happens if you have people in power who sue the media when they report stories they don't like?
Well, I got to admit, I'm a little dumbfounded, and you're there. You know perfectly well that the E. Jean Carroll civil verdict was rendered. Judge Lewis Kaplan said, in the common parlance of the word, that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll at Bergdorf Goodman.
The judge used the word.
That out,
but that is not the specific.
There was actually a court of law
in
a competent jurisdiction where the judge actually said that. Is that true or not?
It is true. He did say it, and he qualified it, and the actual counts aren't called that, and there is a legal distinction, but the judge did say it.
I'm just saying that's what the judge said. I'm not saying anything. I'm repeating what a highly experienced federal judge said after a jury verdict.
Then why do you think they settled?
We just can't suspend. We can't suspend facts.
I got you. I'm with you. And George is a friend of mine, so I'm here to give him the benefit of the facts. But why do you think they settled, James? Do you think it's because they're worried about having Trump on their bad side?
ABC News is owned by Disney, which has a gazillion interests in a gazillion other things. They got a dinner with the chief of staff, and I have no idea. You have to ask the Disney people. They're the people that did this, but I can't tell you. But I can tell you what Judge Kaplan said, and you can tell Corey what Judge Kaplan said.
No, Corey knows.
No, that's what he said.
Corey knows. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.